With the release of Update 3 for Sonic Frontiers, these new cyberspace levels have given us some of the best Sonic level design we've ever gotten. I'm not exaggerating when I say this. As a lifelong Sonic fan, I know that sounds cringe, having played Sonic since the age of 6 and played every single Sonic game, these are the best levels we've gotten to date. If these levels are anything to go by for Sonic Adventure 3, then I think it's in good hands. And I'm making this video because I haven't seen enough talk about these new cyberspace levels. Everyone has just been talking about the difficulty curve of the towers, the new final boss, the new playable characters, but not enough spotlight for these cyberspace levels. And I completely understand. I'll be honest, I didn't like the original cyberspace levels. I thought they kind of sucked and they just weren't good. I did not like this format, but after having played these new ones, I completely changed my mind. I love these. The new mechanics they added actually make these so much better. Where has the spin dash been all my life in 3D Sonic games? What was the kick flurry rush attack is now the spin dash. Now that kick attack is still in the game, but only when you're in combat. When you're not in combat and you're running around, you can just hold the left bumper and you'll go into spin dash mode, which sends you flying. The spin dash is really fast. It's faster than the boost, and on top of that, it deals damage to enemies like the old boost did. You can even drop dash by stomping into the spin dash, which sends you flying as well. It is so much better than the boost. Now, because the spin dash kind of replaces the boost in terms of speed and attack, it doesn't make the boost obsolete. The boost now has a different priority, and I like this way more than the old boost. The old boost, you can just hold down in old Sonic games and you'll just go flying through a level. The animation completely plays itself. But to make up for that, the boost is different now. It's no longer a ground boost, that's for the spin dash. It's now an air boost, if that makes sense. Think of it like this. The regular run is just a jog. The boost is like a sprint. The spin dash is, well, a dash. The spin dash in the air doesn't do anything until you land, where he would then basically drop dash. But why would you drop dash like that when you can just stomp into the dash? The boost now just gives you an edge in the air to give you just that little nudge to make it to the next platform. A lifesaver. It can change your direction in the air so you can boost in the direction that you want to go in. This makes for some very unique level design that we haven't gotten in any Sonic game before. It's a mixture of Sonic Adventure meets Sonic Unleashed. Because the spin dash sends you flying so far and fast, the boost helps you reposition Sonic. As a kid, I always heard the argument from my friends, Sonic is just too fast to control. You can't really control Sonic. That's why the game is more automated and he's slower. But this proves that isn't true. You can have both the spin dash and the boost and they can work together simultaneously. As you can see here in the gameplay, the boost can just be that little nudge to push you onto the platform, while also slowing you down to reposition and then dash. At first, I wasn't sure if the spin dash was meant to be utilized like this in these levels because it's, meant for the open zone gameplay to get you across faster. But after playing each level without the spin dash first, just regular boost like the old cyberspace, I can come to the conclusion that yeah, they meant for you to use the spin dash. It's not really possible to get an S rank using just the boost. You have to use the spin dash. Each cyberspace level is very unique. One has you racing against a Cyber Tails, which I wish it was just the Tails model, but I can see why they did it like that. Another has you using the old Unleashed boost as like a Mario Kart item, which I really like. One has a bomb above you that'll explode in a minute, so you have to get timer pickups to keep the bomb from exploding. And Sega finally figured out how to make the loop-de-loops not automated. They just had to put the camera behind Sonic. Who knew it was that easy? The spin dash helps you reposition on the ground, while the boost helps you in the air. These play more like Spark the Electric Jester, but in my opinion, I like these more just because it's Sonic, because you're faster on the ground. And the clips you're seeing here, you're thinking, wow, this guy's breaking the game with the spin dash, it's so OP. But no, they knew you would do this. They have like a dozen different paths set up for you in case you do abuse the spin dash. This Sonic game has the most branching paths in a level. I've never seen this many in a level before. You can count and there'd be at least a dozen of them. From the jump, the game gives you 2, 3, even 4 branching paths to go off of, and then from there, there's even more paths to go off of. And they kind of want you to use the spin dash if you want to get the best possible time, because without it, the levels play out slower. And I think that's good. I think it's good to have the spin dash and the boost. If you want to play the level slower, you can just boost the whole time. If you want to go flying through them like I do, you can use the spin dash. Now for little Timmy here, he's probably going to want to use the spin dash, but if he's having trouble, he'll just use the boost. This is the perfect balance between casual and hardcore. Isn't it ironic that the boost that used to make you go flying through the level in old Sonic games now just the slower option? I haven't found all the cyberspace levels in the world yet, but I think there's about 8 that I can count on my map. Out of all the 8 that I've played, there isn't a single 2D level. These are all 3D. You've already heard all the complaints about the difficulty spike in the towers. I feel differently. I actually like that type of gameplay. It's quick, it's fast Sonic gameplay, it keeps you on your toes. But I don't think Kishimoto playtested this, I'm gonna be honest. I'm willing to bet that Kishimoto didn't actually sit down and playtest those towers. I would really like to see a live video of him playing those towers. He's the director, but I don't know how much involvement he had with the level design of these cyberspace levels. I was in the camp that all Kishimoto Sonic games suck. I thought Kishimoto was a bad director. I didn't like the direction he was taking Sonic, but after playing these cyberspace levels, I can safely say that Sonic Adventure 3 is in good hands if they're like this, and if that same level designer that made these levels works on the next game. It became so clear to me that the old cyberspace levels, and even the open zone design, is mostly automated, like 70 to 80% automated. These cyberspace levels, they're more like 10 to 20% automated, and it's mostly with the loop-de-loops. And even then, you have control of the loop-de-loops. You can just jump off of them and skip them entirely. Like, look at this level here. This looks like a 3D chemical plant if chemical plant were to be remade. Except instead of being locked into an animation of like rolling up or down or whatever, you can just jump off and go to the next path you see. But hey, there's still some forced automation here because they want you to think outside the box and find a way around it. Do you see this loop-de-loop here? You're locked into it. It's pretty long too, but you can go over it or under it. If you see a way around it, you can get around it. And what makes these so good is they're replayable. They're not one and done like the old cyberspace levels. Be honest, when you played one of these new levels, did you go back and replay it again to see which path you could take and get the faster time? If you tell me you didn't replay any of these, you just beat them once and left, you're lying. These are meant to be replayed over and over. There's different objectives that you just can't do in one go, and you can't definitely get an S rank in one go if you try to do them. For example, the animals from Sonic Adventure are back. You can see on the top left how many animals are remaining, and you gotta save those animals. Now there's also moon medals. These are like the ones from Sonic Unleashed, but they're more like the red coins / red medals that you can already collect. And then there's also the number coins you can find, which you have to get in a certain order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't get them out of order. And lastly, the last objective that I know of is you can get the secret hidden endings. So at the end of a level, there would be a portal that you go through, but there's also a hidden one you can find in the level to get that secret bonus objective. These are well crafted and well thought out. I was stuck here, I wasn't sure what to do. But after looking around, I could see the signs and they pointed me to a direction that I was supposed to go. That made it clear to me that you're supposed to play these multiple times. You're supposed to memorize the level design and go through it again, and now that you know what to do, you can get the perfect time. S ranks are no longer just hold boost to win. You have to know where the fastest route is to get that S rank. Here I was stuck. I wasn't sure where to go. I thought you had to climb these like a platformer. But no, there's actually a hidden mine here that you're supposed to step on to get sent flying up here. Then that made me realize, oh, these are what the exclamation marks are for. It's these landmines here. And then at the end of the level, it showed me, don't get hit by any landmines. And then I realized, okay, so there's another way to go about that and not get hit by the landmines. And surely enough, yeah, there was another path to that, which didn't require you to hit that landmine. And it's this type of well thought out gameplay that I really like. I rarely found myself just homing attack enemies now. I actually just go right past them because I can. And these angles, these shots right here, this is like some Sonic Unleashed shots. I love this. This is like the right formula for the next Sonic game to be a 9 or an even 10 out of 10. All they have to do, make the graphics better, make the game less jankier, and retain this level design. I really hope they didn't go all the way with this so that the next game feels kind of lacking in comparison. I hope this is like the appetizer before the next game, which is leagues better than this. That would be insane. This would be a 9 or 10 out of 10. And one last thing I completely glossed over. These stages have their own music. Yeah, they have their own music and they all sound so good. My only gripe is that all the stages still look the same to past cyberspace levels. They don't really have that unique aesthetic to say Sonic Unleashed or even Sonic Generations or Sonic Colors. This is more just reusing assets, but to their best ability. But I think that's more to do with the old cyberspace levels having tainted the style for these ones. But that aside, the level design here is really good. The gimmicks, the music, everything else about this is really good. Like, my friends, they weren't interested in this game, but after having showed them clips and footage of this, it made them interested in the game, and now they want to play it. And yeah, this came out almost a year after the release of the game, but it's a free update. We didn't pay anything to play these. Sega, for the next game, take your time. If you need to take your time to make levels like these, then take your time. That's all. Kishimoto, I have faith in you. This has been Zebu from Resonant Fortress. Gotta go fast.